Chuck. Tingle. Chuck. Tingle. Chuck. Tingle. Chuck. Tingle.
Hello, I'm Fiona Bruce and welcome to
the Chuck Tingle Book Club.
Oh, yeah.
So
here it is, Tom. It's time for the podcast within a podcast, an intracast, if you will. Or
I don't believe this concept ever been done.
I don't think it's ever been done. Or if it has been done, it's certainly never been given this name. Is this an enclave cast?
Harry Potter.
Isn't that arse-pageantly sexy?
Oh, that is very arse-puckeringly gorgeous.
So for the book club this year, the Chuck Tingle book club this year, this episode issue
this
is,
year. It is probably the last one for this year.
It probably is, to be fair. It's Monday Pounds Me in the Butt by Chuck Tingle, of course.
By who?
By Chuck Tingle?
No. By 2 times Hugo Award nominee.
By 2-time Hugo Award nominee Chuck Tingle.
Thank you. Give him his full fucking title. He deserves our respect.
He deserves every iota of that. So, Tom, would you care to give us a quick overview?
Yeah, so basically we pull, in the previous week, a title of one of his books that we have a whole pot for now. Are you ready to hear it?
Oh, fucking pot.
Until we get bored of it, or you get bored of it.
Is that what it's called? Is it called the whole pot?
No. It's called the Tingle Tub.
Ah.
Yeah, there we go. Got to give it a bit of alliteration, haven't we? Got the community chests.
Okay, fair enough.
Hot pot doesn't quite, but it's rhyming.
Whole pot, though.
Oh, the whole pot.
Yeah.
No, that's too sexual. Like,
okay, fair enough.
It's about love in all its forms, not just sexuality, which is evident in the 8,000 words we've read of his. So yeah, we pull out the title of a book, we say it, and then the next week we just read it, and then we go back to the issue and we record a little summary podcast book review
with some analysis,
with a lot of fucking analysis on the part of Taryn there.
So give us the rundown.
Well, I mean, first of all, last week we did Pounded by the Pound.
Yes.
To give it its full title, sorry. We can't just give a shortened title. I'm sorry, we can't. Pounded by the Pound, turned gay by the socioeconomic implications of Britain leaving the European Union. And this is the second book that was given away for free. Let's put it that way. Value for money there.
It was the bonus story with that, yeah.
Yeah. For our reading pleasure, he gave it away. Monday Pounds Me in the Butt by 2 times Hugo nominated Chuck Tingle.
Yep.
Right. Last time, I wasn't happy. I was editing it and thinking, like, we're doing a book review, yes, and we're doing more the, like, giant bomb style review where we don't actually give a score. We just talk about our feelings a lot, and it's very millennial and very and very hard fucking science, bitch. We need to go back.
I'll leave that. I'll leave that to you.
Let me introduce to you.
I refuse to score this.
The Tingleton 4000. Greetings, horny human. I am the Tingletron 4000 book review score robot. All scores are final. What I've done basically is taken the GameSpot, rather than thinking giant bomb reviews, GameSpot, where things were a science, taken their spreadsheet and broken down the books into graphics, sound, gameplay, and value with a reviewer's tilt. Which we all know, if you're a Giant Bomb fan, you know how the spreadsheet works, but I'll explain for people. So basically, every single category gets a score out of 5. So what we have is graphics. So looking at the Tingle, it's the cover art. We review the cover art.
Okay, fine.
Getting to the Tingle, it's the pacing of the book, which is basically story, but they didn't have a characteristic story, so that's sound in the old GameSpot equivalent is probably sound is close enough to story. I don't know, whatever. Yep. Gameplay in the old GameSpot equivalent is going to be giving you the tingle. That's the sexiness. That's how turgid you get, you know, proper solid. Value was a GameSpot score back in the day. So saving you some tingle.
Yep.
value for money.
Indeed.
Which this book's going to have a lot of because it's free. And
for sure,
reviewers Tingle tilt. So it's how our feeling as an editor.
If you want to tilt the score based on the scores that's already been given,
so
and
basically,
you kind of want to give it a bit more.
Let me just explain the formula exactly. So these are all scores out of 5, right? And there are 5 of them. So basically, it's just a sum of all of them divided by 2.5, and it'll give you a 10 out of 10 score.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So
Sweet.
you kind of see how it works.
I do.
So we need to go quickly back to Pounded by the Pound.
Yep.
Unless you want to do it at the end.
No, that's fine. Let's do it quickly. Give us the rundown of Pounded by the Pound. Give us those scores. Just the scores. Yeah.
Well, I haven't actually scored it myself, so we'll do it quickly together. So the cover art is beautiful, but it stirs up a lot of colonial hatred in me.
I understand. Well, colonial awkwardness for sure.
The book is itself about the love of the nation by someone who has been completely alienated by his own nation, which is how we feel in real life. However, the cover art doesn't quite reflect that. What it reflects is a man about to be fucked in the ass by a pound.
Yeah, sure.
And the Photoshop job of putting a face on a pound coin is pretty good, but I'm going to say it's also an old pound coin, not a new pound coin.
And it also doesn't quite describe Perber in his full glory as a fully sentient pound coin.
You don't see his rod, I understand. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to say graphics, middle of the road, 3 out of 5.
Sure.
Okay. So now we've got getting to the Tingle, the pacing. Now, this book really paces itself well.
Yeah, that book fucking jams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't leave itself too exposition-y heavy. So the front of the book isn't too heavy.
There's absolutely no point in that story where I felt I lost what I was reading.
I'm going to say that is a perfect pacing. Like, I was so happy with how that book was paced.
Siggy, brother.
That's a 5 out of 5.
That's a 5 for sure.
Giving you the Tingle, the sexiness. Now, I'm not afraid to say this. I did get hard at one point.
Yeah,
I can't remember what point, but
yeah. I remember sort of reading up on the fly floor and thinking,
at least blood was flowing. You know,
this is an awkward boner to have at work for sure.
Maybe a 4 out of 5. Like, I wasn't whacking it.
I think 4 out of 5 is fine. No, I mean,
I do a 3.5.
It's 5 out of 5 full blown whacking it.
I think 5 out of 5 is full blown. I need to fucking have a wank now.
In which case, if 4 out of 5 would be, oh my god, I'm so close to whacking it. In which case,
so it's probably more like a 3.
Yep.
Okay, fine. We'll go with that. Saving you some Tingle, value for money. He does give away a free book at the end.
I mean, but even by itself, I wouldn't have felt shafted.
Was it $2.50 or something? £2.50?
Something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't have felt shafted. Pun entirely intended.
I think,
had I paid for that book alone.
And we're getting a free book. And I'm going to say it's 5 out of 5. Value for money, 5 out of 5, easy.
Sure.
Reviewers tilt. Now, we might be a bit biased because it's the first book. We are at 6.4 right now. This can push it up 3%.
We're also biased by the fact that we're British, and this kind of directly applies to our sense of self.
Our review tilt's going to be high.
It tickles that kind of national identity thing that I described in my analysis. But it wasn't everything. I mean, I personally wouldn't go more than a 4.
4? I'll be happy with a 4.
You'll be happy with a 4?
I'll be happy with a 4.
Let's go with a 4.
Do you want to know what the final score is?
What's the final score?
What we're calling the Grand Tingle score.
The Grand Tingle?
Because it used to be called overall score. I couldn't think over her score. No, over 4 score. 4 score. It's the 4 score.
The Ting total?
The 4 score. It's 8 out of 10.
I think that's fair.
I think that's completely fair.
I think that's absolutely fair.
And I'm changing it to the 4 score. Okay, cool. Thank you for indulging me, and thank you.
No, absolutely.
I'm sorry we had to retread already trodden ground, but I felt scientifically it was important.
If we're going to be scientific
race,
about this, it's important to do this
the human
now,
race,
so that we're not left without like a data point.
I didn't want a backlog because that's just if you're going back to old science, you're kind of writing your null hypothesis from a biased view anyway, because you're trying to prove something that you already know is true, which is not the way to hypothesize anything.
Even worse, you're kind of reviewing something that was done at a time, and you're reviewing it with a new set of eyes, which kind of skews the results
Exactly.
anyway.
I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Absolutely.
So before we even think about it, although we have slightly skewed the view of this book because we've read Monday, but pounds me in the butt. But
I tried
Damage
my best.
limited.
I tried
Damage
my best to be
limited.
like absolutely objective about it.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So,
All right. So
Control S.
Monday pounds me in the butt. Tom, would you give us a quick overview?
Absolutely.
If you could give us like the 5-minute rundown.
Okay, so our main character in this book is Wims. Wims is employed at an advertisement agency. He is a straight man. And if there's one thing he knows how to do, it's to party. But his recovery is not quite what it used to be. He used to be able to plow through Mondays with a 3-day bender in his head. Just do it. But nowadays, he's kind of slacking off. I know how this man feels. Like tomorrow, I'm scared. I've got an 8 o'clock start. I know I'm going to get drunk
certainly
tonight.
feels like that transition into the 30s, doesn't it?
It definitely feels like it, doesn't it?
Feels like
I'm
that.
glad you're saying that, yeah. So
I mean, there's a reason I'm saying it.
again, like the previous book as well, waking up with a hangover, but he has almost an equivalent kind of feel to the first book.
It'd be interesting to see if this is a running theme.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil. We're just doing the synopsis. I'll plow through. I'll get to my feelings later. So yeah, wakes up, alarm clock blaring. He's already late for school. Gets to the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. Saved by the bell shit.
Only in school in this case is his advertisement agency.
Exactly, yeah. So the clock comes into focus, can't quite see it, and realises he's like 4 hours late or something to work. 6 missed calls from work. Shit. Drives in. Managed to get to work pretty quickly on time. Just in time to crash into his boss in the corridor. His boss, Purper.
Mr. Purper.
Mr. Purper. Which I did Google. It is a type of currency.
It's like it's as a currency, it kind of repeats. It theoretically it might have started as like a Byzantine.
Yeah, it's a Hyperion Byzantine coin.
The closest one is Montenegrin.
Yeah, it was Serbian as well at one point.
I'll make this point now because purely I don't feature it in my analysis too strongly. But like calling your boss Mr. Purper is kind of a suggestion that okay, he's the gatekeeper to my money.
Also, the second character introduced is a currency, keeping with the theme.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I say that?
For sure.
So at that point, dragged into the office, into the boss's office, at which point Wims goes to sit down at the desk, and Purper literally turns around and goes, don't bother sitting down, you're not going to be here that long.
Yeah.
It's like, already your heart's in your throat. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Tries to explain the fact that he was caught in traffic. It was absolutely terrible. It's a big lie. At which point Purper points out, I get on the same highway as you every day. Don't lie to me.
Yep.
And then points out that you were late on the day where we had that huge Starbucks appointment. Where we're talking to a multi-million pound deal
Wims
right here,
himself
contract.
is the project manager.
He's the project manager.
He is the project manager.
Not turning up to a fucking show. It's just unforgivable. Yeah. At which point, Wims is told by Purber that they've lost the account.
Yes.
After a while of getting angrier and angrier with Wims, Purber just cracks a smile and goes, we didn't lose the account, we still have it.
Yeah, he was just fucking with him. In his own words, just fucking with him.
And Wims goes, oh, thank God, so I'm not fired. Purber says, no, you are fired. I just wanted to fuck with you.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. Obviously, Wims is a human and feels like he's really let down someone who's trusted him. So says, I'm so sorry. I understand, though. So you get the implication that he understands why he's being fired and just casually says, I'm sorry, just Monday fucks me in the arse. At which point, I'm going to say it takes a bit of a leap here, Purber, but
I feel this is something that we're going to find common to Chuck Tingle's works.
Yeah, there's a language misunderstanding, a leap.
I mean, I would tell you, it is a semantic error.
It's perfect word for it. Yeah. Semantic error,
which I will mention.
Yeah. At which point, Pepper literally thinks that Wims has said he's late because a personification of the week of the day Monday has been fucking him in the arse all morning, and that's why he's late.
Yep.
Now, Pepper's a good businessman, and he understands that if you can get Monday into a coffee commercial, I mean, that just writes itself, doesn't it?
Oh, of course.
I mean,
yeah, of course.
Having the personification of the day of the week that everyone struggles to get up on a coffee commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, that writes itself. So, seeing that kind of input just basically sees an idea of, well, I'm going to make this man actually work for me. He goes, sorry, I'm being a bit harsh, and actually, basically says your job relies on us having Monday for this account, and so. Wims plays along.
In fact, more than that, it doesn't only just save his job. He said, if you can bring Monday to this party on Saturday for the launch party, you'll become a partner.
You'll be a partner. Yeah. And so, fueled by this need to save his job and actually save face and possible promotion, Wims reaches out to Monday's secretary, which is easy to do apparently.
I mean, first off, he lies blatantly to his boss
about being the gay lover of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And saying, boss says, why haven't you mentioned this before? It's like, well, it's your boyfriend.
This is my boyfriend,
You're in love. You don't think of your boyfriend being famous.
Don't think of bringing him in.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Beth has that all the time with Hal. Sorry.
Hi, Beth.
Talanas.org.
Son of a bitch.
He is, isn't he?
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, that was a bit harsh. It was harsher than the first joke. Right. Get through that. So finds out that Monday lives in LA, like Wims. Mm-hmm. So it's quite easy to meet up. And Monday, through Monday's secretary, agrees to $30K to do
basically appearance fee.
An appearance fee, but also with some kind of in for maybe future payment as well. Kind of get the impression. It doesn't say it. That's kind of the impression you get. Basically Wims meets up with Monday, and he hasn't got gay bone in his body as he describes it, but he finds himself strangely attracted to Monday. Who wouldn't? So didn't, basically, isn't it?
Oh, I like the manifestation of Monday is literally glowing, golden glowing.
Yeah, golden glowing and
hunky and muscly as fuck.
And to be fair,
dude's cut.
As a description, kind of a little bit left to the side. Like, no one likes Monday.
I mean, he's even like Monday makes a point of saying like, I'm the day of the week that everybody hates.
Yeah, everyone hates him, but he seems like a lovely guy.
He does. He really
genuinely
does.
Seems like a warm and lovely person. Day of the week, whatever you want to call it.
Personification.
They have a lovely day.
The party goes well.
No, that's before the party, isn't it? They meet up and
they drive down to the party.
They drive down to the party and just like, instead of putting music on, they talk and they have a lovely conversation. I'm not going to spoil it. Go read it. So then turns up to the party. The execs are there. They're kind of a little bit like starstruck. The fact that there's a day of the week there at the party, understandable. That's like having a movie star. That's like having Keanu Reeves and Jeff Goldblum there versus each other.
Of course.
In there. You know what I'm saying? So for the rest of the night, it goes off without a hitch. And basically one of the executives just basically drops the hint again that if a few favours are put through him to Monday, Wims through to Monday, that would be beneficial for his career.
Sure.
But that's kind of what happens at the party, and Monday seems to have a good time. Wims has a good time. Wims is a little bit nervous, I feel, but as they leave, they're holding hands. They've had a good night together, and not because it was a show, but because they wanted to hold hands. It's kind of very romantic, that statement. Let's just scan down the page like 3 or 4 lines, and we have the first highlighted segment of the book. Yes. I think this is going to be an ongoing theme. The day grins knowingly, placing... Oh, sorry. So the car stops, and Wims basically says, "Can I be honest with you?" And Monday says, "Yes, of course."
In the car stop, I thought they were still in the car park at this point. Did they drive off?
Oh, no, they stop in front of his car. Sorry. Yeah. I had a really good time with you tonight, and his voice trails off, unable to fully express the taboo desires that swirl and simmer within him. "What is it?" Monday urges. "I really want you to pound me hard," I tell him. I don't think that's how he delivers it, but just giving a bit of emphasis.
No, it's a good read, though.
The day grins knowingly, places a warm yellow hand on his shoulder. "Oh, Wims," he sighs. "Don't you see? I've been pounding you for years. Every morning when you wake up and dread going to work, every time your head aches when the alarm sounds, I've always been there with you, pounding your heart's butt." So, yeah, they get to it. Well, first of all, Wims drops to his knees, starts stroking.
Which is like in Revelation. No, but like...
In Revelation, but then he's there.
No, after that, actually, they run into the woods.
Oh, yeah, that's correct, actually.
And then they get to it. And like last time, we won't really talk too much. We won't go into detail about the sex because...
That's what the pleasure of this reading is.
And also, you should always pay for your porn.
If OnlyFans has only told us one thing,
just pay for your porn
and don't let your partner see your bank statement. So yeah, basically there's a big day giant glowing rod. Starts jerking off, but then gets to blowjob stuff, and there's actually quite a well descriptive way of getting past your gag reflex in the book.
Just let's skip past the details of the
badly.
sex.
I might please fuck my ass. I mean, as a straight man, he's not quite sure what to make of prostate tickling, but it's tickled. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's
skip to after the sex.
Oh no, this is one of my favorite books.
Oh, okay, go for it.
In the book. So let's just set the scene a bit. I start to pump my entire body up and down across his length, groaning as I accept his thickness within my stretched out arsehole.
Tom, let's not share too much of the porn.
Because you need to set the scene. "I've got a case of the Mondays in my arse," I murmured.
Oh, that is a great line.
Repeating the words out over and over again until I start shouting at the top of my lungs. "I've got a case of Mondays in my arse! I've got a case of Mondays in my arse!" I'm sorry, I could not do that line.
It's so good.
And then there's no, I need to find my next favourite line. Climbing top of me. No. I open my mouth and catch as... Oh, sorry. Day cries out and then buckles forward, his eyes shut tight and his teeth bared open. Hot ropes of spunk eject into my head from the head of his shaft. I open my mouth and catch as much as I can. The rest of his cum painting my lips and running down either side of my face. Cum painting.
It's good.
Beautiful. But yeah, so that happens, and they're both elated. They're very much, and Monday pulls Wims into a loving embrace, and they lay there, and they realise that like their time is up for another week, and they don't want to separate. They don't want to be apart. They've
Sunday's about to happen, so Monday needs to go away.
Monday needs to go away. So like they refuse.
Well, particularly Wims refuses, and kind of. He kind of convinces Monday to stay until Sunday ticks over. And what happens when Sunday ticks over? While they're in each other's arms.
Shall I just read out the last paragraph or two?
Please do.
So, spoilers. I mean, this is a great ending to a book. If you have not read this...
This is a book club.
Please skip ahead, just 5 minutes or whatever. And just don't listen to this bit and read the book, because the ending of the book saves this book for me. Because I didn't enjoy this book as much as the first. But this kind of may have pushed it over the edge. Right. I squeeze his hand tighter, looking over the city's lights and wondering what the future holds. Will we automatically jump to Tuesday as if nothing's ever even happened, or will the very fabric of time and space collapse around us. Suddenly feel a strange rush of wind. Fine. That's it, I say. The wind continues to pick up. Howling in their ears. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh my God, I cry out. The words immediately dissolve into nothingness. I look over and see Monday's face begin to melt, drifting away from him in a strange swirling line that eventually consumes his entire body. Soon enough, the two of us are merging together into a sickening mutation of random matter, consumed by our own place in space and time. I should be terrified right now, but I'm not, regardless of our impending metamorphosis. Within the space-time continuum, I am glad to be here with Monday, the love of my life. Moments later, we were ripped into a billion pieces, melding the universe as it collapses around us. The entire space-time of the universe collapses within them because of their love. I'm just going to leave you with that.
So
let's go.
Here's my read on it,
Let's
Tom.
go.
As discussed, Monday
That took 20 minutes. Let's go.
as discussed, Monday Pas Me in the Butt is a work of abstract gay erotica wherein our protagonist lies first about dating before meeting, falling in love with, and then fucking the personification of the first day of the work week, leading to a grand metamorphosis not just for himself, but for Monday and the universe at large. As with any work that features such a grand paradigm shift, we are dealing here with a story about change. But change for whom and on what scale? I'll admit, my first read of this opus, I was somewhat lost as to what this change is. It seems like your classic boy meets Monday, boy fucks Monday, all space-time and causality dissolves style love story.
That old chestnut.
Of course, this is the Chuck Tingle Tingler, so it's safe to assume all is not as it seems. It was only on my second read through that the deeper meaning of this hopeful and cathartic work came to crystallize in both my mind and my heart's butt.
Yes.
What we're dealing with here is a very subtly composed coming-of-age story. Not your usual boy becomes man transition, of course. Erotic stories and messages of that ilk are best left to attention-hungry parasites living the impossible dream of getting themselves fired from Breitbart News. Nor is this the story of a man moving into old age. No, this is a coming-of-age story of those in-between years. No, there's a minor Ian Upness reference. No, this is this is a coming of age story of those in between years. A story wherein childish things are finally put aside and full potential is reached. This is a tale of a young man becoming a working success, and everything else in this tale simply serves as the metaphorical fuel for this grander allegory. So, as you said, we open with our narrator painting himself as a party animal. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing this young buck can do, it's smash the gaping fuck right out of a weekend and then plough on through the week regardless. Only things, we're told, have been changing of late. No longer can our hero simply react to Monday's alarm and crack on with things. Now Mondays mean slow mornings and pounding headaches. These vicissitudes already suggest that some change is happening with or around our hero that he's resisting.
Do love vicissitude, by the way.
Sorry? That's a great word, isn't it? The character set, his first scene follows this established trend. He's awoken late and hungover and with missed calls. And by missed calls,
Amen.
Id est, his duty has literally been calling. Mm-hmm. Even with the shock of this wake-up call, getting out of bed proves difficult as he becomes tangled in his sheets, which is utterly a physical manifestation of his resistance to the change in his circumstances. Contrary to this, however, he demonstrates some willingness to change, as denoted by a nod and wink to his future exploits. To quote, I throw open the door of my closet. Very sly, Mr. Tingle.
I did not
Very
say...
sly.
Oh!
What follows his immediate rising...
10 out of 10. I'm calling it.
What follows his immediate rising to work is his rush. His immediate rising is his rush to work. I found this particularly interesting as the process is largely defined by what the character misses. He misses a proper shower, a proper breakfast. Yeah. He misses the shower, or is it the secretary or the security guards as he rushes past them on his way into work? He literally grabs
a protein bar on his way out. That's it.
But he also misses the morning traffic. These are the things he misses if he doesn't miss out on the weekend. It almost feels like the protagonist is subconsciously making a cost-benefit analysis of continuing on with his present lifestyle course. Mm-hmm. Next, as you said, we've got the interaction. In fact, this is the inciting incident of the metamorphosis. It's the interaction with Mr. Perber. Mm-hmm. To recount in short, a protagonist makes up the excuse that a wreck was on the highway. A wreck on the highway made him late. Yeah, to which Perber counters by pointing out that he takes the same route to work and like he didn't face this thing. Perper also goes on to explain that the narrator has missed a morning meeting with their client Starbucks and that the client has closed their account in response.
Yeah.
This is a $20 million contract and the firm's biggest client gone, all because of our hero's negligence. As we know now, Perper was, by his own words, fucking with him on this latter point.
Was that a page turn?
It was a page turn. It was a messy page turn.
Page what of what?
One of three. Over two or three. He was just fucking with him on this latter point and merely wanted to get across the horror he himself had felt in the aftermath of this missed meeting. Mm-hmm. Regardless of this, the narrator is still definitely being fired. It's important to note here that our hero missing this meeting is only significant because he is, or rather was, the project manager for Starbucks and this advertising case. The suggestion here is that, parting aside, our narrator is still doing exceedingly well at work up until this point. This is another glimpse at the successes already achieved and serves to highlight the friction between this and his more youthful weekend exuberances. Mr. Perper's actions in this exchange are also significant. Where he could have simply just dismissed his employee, he dissolves the offered excuse of a wreck, and then goes on to lie about the consequences of the missed meeting. On the surface, this seems like a 1-2 of line management gotcha and petty revenge.
Yeah.
But looked at more deeply, another approach is revealed. Perper, in kind of saying he kind of takes the same route to work, he draws an equivalence between him and his employee. And then he conjures up this corporate catastrophe. What he's doing is he's reminding our character that there are real people and real consequences at the other end of his decisions. This is a direct appeal to his empathy, and without it, we would not have had the pivotal moment that comes next. Our narrator, learning all this, he's not angry at his boss for the dismissal.
No, he's...
In fact, he's outwardly apologetic and relieved that the worst has not come to pass.
Yeah, he understands the weight of his actions have put something in jeopardy that is way beyond him.
Even though Purpose tried to fuck with him, he's just like, oh, thank fuck for all that.
And to be fair, like being part of a team and like being in charge and letting someone down is very much well described. Like you feel exactly what Wims is feeling in that moment.
Which, yeah, I mean, I didn't.
Writing.
I decided not to go into this because like this is already 2,250 words.
Yeah, but I
want like again that's like another appeal to like this life of progress that our narrator has created versus the life of me of the weekend.
He's not company man, but he definitely plays a part and wants to be part of it.
Cool. So anyway, he's outwardly apologetic and relieved that the worst has not come to pass. From this place, and despite knowing that his job is lost and that nothing he can say will change that, he feels safe enough in this space of empathy to share a glimpse of his own feelings without fear that it will go without understanding. Mm-hmm. Monday really fucks me in the arse, he says.
He's going for empathy there, isn't he? He really is.
He is. Oh no, he's going for sympathy, just passing sympathy, just like I know. He's kind of sharing something. It's like, look, this isn't vindication. It's like I want you to know this has come from a place that like
it's a human thing.
You've reached me on an empathetic level, so I'm just saying, look, I understand. And like, here's my parting shot. Like, this isn't like
it's not an excuse. It's a it's not a reason. It's an understanding.
Yeah,
money fucks me in the arse. I mean, I know it's a character flaw.
The best you're going for with that sort of response is like, do you know what? yeah, fair enough. But
it's almost like
you should understand this, right? And then have the person go, yeah, I know. Unfortunately, still got a fire.
So when I thought about that statement, it's like Monday really fucks me in the arse. It's kind of like it could go. There's a fork in the road there. Well, no, actually, no. There's a fucking trident in the road. Let's put it that way. So the far fucking right hand turn is personification of Monday's fucking him in the arse. But there's also this point
which we'll get to in a second,
which I think is kind of Wims' thought is kind of like either the boss will go, oh no, I completely understand, or the boss will go, just fucking grow up.
Yeah, exactly. Either way,
the character development is there.
Like those two options, those two latter options. Like you say that, and you know you're going to be heard, and someone's going to like the recipient's going to like have something to say, an understanding, but a point of view on it.
And that's where the reader is led.
And
which makes the right turn of Monday being personified and being gay fantastic. I wish there was a video camera here because that was some big gesturing I just did.
Well, speaking of which, so this is the point at which Purpur, as we discussed, he makes like a very critical semantic error right here.
Yeah.
And he responds by stating, "I didn't realize you were dating Monday." Now, without questioning how his boss has made the leap from his own, from his figurative expression to a conceptual actuality, the narrator just goes with it.
Well, with reason. Like, he senses an emotional change in his boss.
In short, he lies. Pretty soon, we have the understanding that having the manifest avatar of Monday lending its support to the launch of the party's of the firm's Starbucks project this Saturday will not only save his job, but secure him a position as partner. This isn't just a chance of redemption for the narrator, but a glimpse at what could be if he only embraced the change he's already on the cusp of. So, our narrator follows through on the opportunity put before him. He contacts and meets Monday, discovering...
Okay.
So, all right.
Okay.
Now, right, so...
This is a bit I really want to discuss with you.
So, I'm beginning to, we're going to have to start referring to things as the Tingleverse.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just put this out there? Because I have an idea.
Go for it.
Neil Gaiman's American Gods is the Tingleverse. If there is a concept of anything, there is a personification of it.
Oh, shit.
We have technology. We have...
But this is so much more entertaining than American Gods.
Eat a dick. That'd be entertaining. No, but I'm getting that kind of vibe. There is a physical manifestation of any concept that is kind of like American Gods style.
I mean,
that seems to be it.
This seems to be the case. I mean, I think
they don't have powers as much. It's just they are a personification.
If we carry on with this, Tom, if we end up landing this, I would love to do an episode where we some
cross over
knowledge
Sandman
of
with
both the man and his
butt.
universe. We can sit down and actually dissect the everything of the universe he's creating.
All I'm gonna say is, if there's ever a character called Shadow, I am winning this argument.
Right, okay, so after the meeting with Purpur, our narrator follows through on the opportunity put before him. He contacts and meets Monday, discovering pretty quickly an understandable familiarity with the day of the week, but also an instant attraction.
Yeah.
The two drive to and attend the Starbucks launch party, impressing the attendees and getting closer to one another all the while. The details here can largely be skipped over as they serve only to highlight a greater point. So, this party is taking place on a Saturday night, which is prime real estate for partying. But instead of his usual hard partying, our narrator kind of is enjoying this more low-key affair with his date. And oh wow, I should actually read that line as I read it. But instead of his usual hard partying, by enjoying a more low-key affair with his date, the narrator has already, to a degree, accepted and embraced the Monday that is yet to come, so to speak. What's more, he enjoys it.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
What's more, he enjoys it. His enjoyment of the party barely features, of the party itself, barely features in this enjoyment, but the true root of it becomes much more clear as he leaves the event with Monday. In the car park, the narrator explains that he wants Monday to pound him. To which Monday explains that he's been pounding him for years, every morning when you wake up and dread going to work.
Yeah.
This is a revelation for our hero, who falls to his knees. Monday's call to arms has been falling on deaf ears and dulled senses for too long now. But he's hearing that call now, and he cannot wait. Cannot wait through the remaining weekly sequence until the next day of Monday. Only one day fall away from this point. I want you to pound me right now, he says.
He certainly does.
The two of them run off to indulge in a mutual carnality. Not right there in the car park or in a bedchamber.
I'm just going to say that's how I'm going to phrase it to my girlfriend from now on.
What's that?
Mutual carnality.
Mutual carnality, yeah.
Would you like to partake in a mutual carnality?
Oh, I tell you what, give me a sherry and I'll be right with you.
Spread it, darling.
I'll brush my teeth, fetch me a sherry, and let's jump in.
Kick out the slave. Yeah.
So they run off to have sex in the woods. They could have done it in the car park, they could have done it in a bedchamber, or even like the nearest toilet, but they don't. They have sex they could run off to the woods.
It's very romantic,
and it's fitting that this should happen in the wilds, because historically, narratively, and mythologically, it is in the wilds that the most profound contemplations, revelations, and transformations traditionally take place. Is while lying on lush grass surrounded.
Can I say it's described as a patch of beautiful green grass.
A patch of beautiful green grass. Yeah, I butchered it with the word lush, but you're absolutely right.
It's described literally as beautiful.
Lying on a patch of beautiful green grass, surrounded by trees, because they're in the woods, and bathed in the moon's glow.
I love the fact you can look literally 4 days down, 4 lines down, and beautiful patch of green grass. Skip, 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 skip. Day's massive cock.
The one I like.
That's lovely.
The one I like is it talks about the moon's glow illuminating the grass, and then it also talks about the glow of Monday, which I assume must have a different kind of effect
light.
on the surroundings.
A sepia.
It's like
tone.
it's obviously like very bright to the eyes without casting like a glow around. If it doesn't like override the glow of the moon. I couldn't find a particular read on that. I just found it like. Aesthetically, I found it an interesting point.
It's what's that gaming phrase? Ambient occlusion. It's that kind of like surrounding edge of an object that is iridescent or the opposite of iridescent. It's actually taking away colour from the outside edge.
Right. Yeah.
Ocular inclusion.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's how I see it.
Cool. Okay, where did we go? So
the day's massive cock. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. So, lying on the grass surrounded by trees, bathed in the moon's glow, the two have sex. Hot, throbbing, sloppy sex. The details are best read and.
There's a good deep throat scene. There's a good
for yourself.
Scene there.
We'll talk about the enjoyment in a sec. Anyway, it's a good one though. They bone down, blat out some arcing ropes, and cuddle until the clock ticks midnight and Sunday arrives. Everything changes.
That statement is far too harsh.
What, blat out? What? Which one?
Well, it's
they
all just
down.
Sharp words. Like, this is quite a romantic scene.
Yeah. And I don't want to betray any of it because I think everyone should read it. I think
but you can't say they just blat it out.
Here, Tom, I shall go into some depth.
All right, okay, go on, carry on.
There are some very important points to discuss here. Firstly, up until this point, the narrator has mentioned a number of times that he is straight. But between the opening of his closet in his bedroom
and
his developing exposure to Monday, he slowly warms and then embraces the idea of his homosexuality. In a story about transformation, this is a masterstroke by Mr. Tingle. Not only is there the overt change in romantic engagement and interest, but there's a second level about achieving actualization and fulfillment. It's common for people in the LGBTQ community to talk about living a lie, of not being true to themselves or others before finding the bravery to live out in the open. That once they took the step to unabashedly embrace their truth, their world changed forever. This is a powerful metaphor to support the greater message, a message which we will deal with in just a moment. Before we get to that culmination, there's...
Go on.
Before we get to that culmination, there's a very significant interaction there's a very significant interaction within the hard Lundy slap to cover. I thought you'd like that one.
Yeah. You're right to your audience right there of one. Go on.
Before the narrator, at this point currently supine and spread-eagled, is allowed to reach climax, Monday stops the action and informs him that he must work for it. Monday is a day of work. That's the point. Our chrysalid protagonist cannot simply lie back and expect this metamorphosis to be done to him. Instead, he must climb on top and take this thing across the finish line himself. This is because such a significant positive change to whom it is happening comes about not by chance or circumstance, but largely from the will to improve and act upon that change. To transform completely, one must accept and do. The final element of this event is a subtle one. After the act is done and each is liberally covered in each other's acceptance, we have a moment of embrace. Our narrator doesn't just don trow and fuck off, nor does he allow Monday to leave before Sunday arrives. Instead, they embrace, come what may. And that may, in this narrative instance at least, is the absolute dissolution of all reality. What this represents, however, is not all reality. Only the former reality of the narrator who has finally embraced the change that has been staring him down for so long now. The nothingness that the reality becomes is by definition unknowable, because our hero's future is now new and thus unknown. But what of this change? What does Monday actually represent? Well, in embracing Monday, even when it's not actually the day of Monday, our narrator leaves behind his old partying ways and secures himself a bright professional future as a partner in his firm. Monday here represents duty, more specifically, work ethic. I would take this even a little further. The pounding intensity of the jizz-drenched Monday affair.
Oh, shit.
Followed by the catharsis of the post-coital embrace and release from a former state of being. I don't know. I feel there may be something of the autobiographical about this tale. That this is a dramatic and abstract retelling of Chuck Tingle embracing his innate genius as a storyteller and following through on it. But there's even more to this. Now, you may have noticed I've spoken about the narrator and protagonist only in those terms. You mentioned his name, Whims. As a sole name, it seems an odd choice. There's no overt connection to the story.
There's no first name.
There is no first name. It's the only name is Whims.
Yeah.
There's no overt connection to the story, but we already know from the name Purper that Tingle, he likes to communicate things with names. So I looked into the name Whims. So here we have it. Like, it's predominant mostly in America. It will also feature in
the Americas.
In Canada, but also you can find it in England. In America, where it's most predominant, it's in the 87th percentile, which means it's not common.
No.
But it's not uncommon. Also, upon further examination, it has no known origin. Usually names, like, if they're not denoting a job, they're denoting a place where a person has come from.
Yeah.
But we have no known on that whatsoever. Whims just kind of exists by itself. So this means this is a perfect any man from any place.
Yeah,
making
it's a Gordon
him,
Freeman.
Making Whims a perfect everyman.
Yeah.
So, given this autobiographical catharsis and this everyman name, there is no doubt in my mind that Tingle is saying that, hey, I've done this. I've embraced what it's taken to move on to the next step. But also, so can you. Ultimately, Monday Pounds Me in the Butt is a tale of hope for one and for all.
Do you remember your intro about being words and hair?
Oh, mate, like when I finished that essay.
Fucking no! I want a big cacophonous fucking high five on this one. No, that'll do.
That'll do, mate. When
Oh, fucking row.
I mean, I need to get better at reading shit. But
No, you don't. Do you know what came into my mind when I was watching you? There was one point where you were getting to a point and getting so furthered up, and then you did a impassioned actor spitting moment. You did an Alan Rickman spitting moment. I saw, because you're sitting there with a lamp over your shoulder.
Yes,
There was a
just
point
so I
where
could read
spittle
clearly.
left your mouth because you were in such a fervour.
I mean, I'll tell you this, like, because I didn't have time to edit, and when I printed and looked at those 3 pages of not even complete, I had to leave off the last point, just leave it in notes because I didn't have time. But when I was looking at it all, I spoke aloud to like everyone else in the room with me. It's like, everything I am is ridiculous.
I mean,
And to be fair, I
do you know
couldn't
what?
be happier.
Do you know what? Let's leave it up to the endurers. Endurers at home, if you can send in MP3 of you clapping to this, I'll put them all together and then play it as a crowd applause for Taron.
I'll tell you what I'll do from
Cut
now
here.
on. I will. I will make sure I read and write this shit earlier so I can like trim it down and just make it
Oh no, to be fair. And I'll do my part and I'll write a synopsis that's actually to the point and pretty punchy. Like, I need to get through in 10 minutes max. 5 minutes will be preferable.
But let's fucking score this thing.
Okay. So
do
we
it.
have the science now. We don't even need to really talk about it. I'm going to say
Do we have a picture for Monday Pounds Me in the Butt?
no. Let me just Google it just in case there is one. Because I didn't know this beforehand. It was released well early in Chuck Tingle's career.
So, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I had to, on the fly, cut out a bit about Tingle's metamorphosis into a twice Hugo nominated author, because as I was cutting out topics for like to go in the Tingle pot, which Tom had already done, it all meant nothing. But I discovered that Monday Pounds Me in the Butt was written in like 2015. It was like one of the first ones he did.
Oh my God, does it have a 2015 Photoshop job title cover art? Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
This doesn't have any of the Hugo Award nominated stuff on it. It's literally Chuck Tingle at the bottom of the page. Are you ready for this?
Please.
I mean, I could do a better job, and I do quite regularly in the album art for this podcast. So, what we have in front of us is is this Iranian or is it a Turkish coffee?
I've always thought it
Italian?
was French.
No, that's not French. No, French press is a...
Oh, is that's a press, but I thought, okay, fine.
That's either a Middle Eastern or an Italian.
It's a stovetop coffee maker.
I'll fucking look it up. Just Google fucking Monday Pounds.
A man looking like pretty shitty.
A man under the covers looking not actually hungover. I'm going to hold that against them. He's not looking hungover. He looks pretty fresh faced.
You're closer than I am.
And he is actually fully clothed, which makes me believe that this actor, he wasn't really playing his role. However, Monday is exactly what it says on the tin. He is iridescent with some kind of yellowy glow.
But creating no iridescence on the things around him.
And he is tasty, isn't he?
Hey, he's a pretty boy.
I'm going to say, I'm going to prefer him to Perber. I prefer him to Perber.
I think that's fair. And also, like, summing up Monday Pounds Me in the Butt as a picture, that's a difficult task, dude. And I think that does a reasonably good job.
But, okay, so you might not be able to see it. Hang on. I need to turn up the screen brightness. Do you see down the bottom here? They are playing up to the hangover thing, because there is a glass of water, but there is also painkillers down here. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's what that is.
All right.
And then the coffee cup.
Whatever the score for this cover is, it's lower than the previous pounded in by the pound.
I mean,
it is all right. Let's just go through it. Okay, so
no, did you know what? I'm gonna say 2.
Motherfucker, where are my scores?
It does it does the job, but do you know what? 3. Fine. I'm feeling generous. I really liked this book.
So, pounding by the pound is an 8 out of 10.
It's 3. It communicates exactly what it needs to communicate.
The graphics,
but it's not. It's nothing special. It does the job. That's all it does.
I think it does the job poorly. I'm going to say this is a 2.
You going to?
Yeah, I'm going to say this is a 2.
Let's go 2.5 then.
All right, 2.5. Fine. Okay. So, getting to the Tingle. This is the pacing.
So
This didn't have quite as good pacing as Pound.
no. Everything's loaded at the end, and
okay,
that end is amazing. But like the first 3/4 of it is just kind of.
I'm gonna say this. Mm-hmm. This story is very, very similar to Pounded by the Pound in the structure of waking up, the hangover.
They're all gonna be like. I think we can take it for granted. I don't think we need to take it on that basis. I think we're seeing an emerging trend in the Tingleverse.
I wasn't saying that's a mark against pacing, but I'm gonna say
it was certainly slower paced than Pounded by the Pound.
Yeah, but I think that added to it. Because it kind of built romanticism.
Well, I mean, it depends.
It made it more romantic.
As a casual reader, I would say that it's too slow. Like we're looking at a 2, but upon analysis and kind of seeing what Chuck Tingle's actually doing with this story of metamorphosis, I mean. I personally would put it at 5. So let's meet those.
Oh God, no!
No! I loved it. I loved the pacing.
I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the way this book was paced because it wasn't equal as much as the Pound for the Pound. Like the Pound for the Pound was kind of like a.
It was all bottom loaded.
No, it wasn't bottom loaded. It was very equal part across all 3 acts. It was very equal, like to the point where. You weren't left wanting more.
Okay, so
in any section.
So what number are you going for here?
I'm gonna say 3.
You're going to go for a 3?
Yeah. If you're going for a 5, go for a 4 in the middle.
Let's go for a 4.
Okay, cool. Giving you the Tingle sexiness. Now, I'm not ashamed to mention this. I did get a semi.
On this one?
Yeah, I definitely got a semi. Okay, let me put it out there. For future reference, I've never had my trousers pulled down and not already had an erection. I'm always ready to go.
That's a big statement.
No, it's not so much a big statement. It's more that I get turned on by fucking nothing. But sexiness, I'm gonna say it gave me a semi.
No, for me, this one's a straight 5 because like
really,
yeah.
Oh man, like, I'm not going for. Well, you wanted to beat it.
That's sexy. Oh my god,
you wanted to beat it.
Oh my god, I had to fucking stop myself.
Really?
I mean, I suppose on the scale we suggested earlier on, like 5 is you actually beat it.
Yeah,
4 is
yeah. I'm saying,
oh my god, I need to fucking beat it.
5 is beating it. 4 is like you're hard as fuck.
If I hadn't,
but 3 is like semi.
If I hadn't been at work,
you would have beaten it.
I would have beaten it.
Give me another one of those slappies.
Absolutely. To the point that on my second read through, I had to skim the sex scene because I was in a part.
It's not a bad sex scene. It's a really fucking good sex scene.
And it's almost so much better than Pounded by the Pound. Like,
right. I will agree with you there. It's a better sex scene than Pounded for the Pound. It's more romantic, which kind of gets me.
It's more romantic.
It feels. #feels.
Yeah. I mean, there's a fucking.
All right. So what are we talking? 4? 4.5?
I think.
4 is fully erect. 3 is semi. 5 is beating it.
4.5. Because like I would have been
say
beating
3.5. So let's meet in the middle with a 4.
4. Okay, fine.
Saving you some Tingu. Value for your money 5. It's a free fucking book.
Free book.
Free fucking book.
Like, it's a book you get free with another good book.
Hang on. Let's just double check that you cannot get this book independently.
I think it might exist as an audio book.
You can totally buy this as an independent book. $1.99. You can buy it for the price pretty much of the original Pounded by the Pound. Give 50p here or there. I mean, you can buy it individually, but you can get it for free. So I'm going to say it's a 5.
Yeah.
It is definitely a 5.
Yeah, I feel it's a 5.
Okay, let me put it this to you. We have a pot of random novel titles.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see what comes out.
Right, yeah, totally. But how many times are we going to be screwed out of £2? Because this is a free book in another book.
So this is the thing I wanted to say. Like, the randomness of this segment only goes so far. If we put out a title and it's attached to another title,
Or the first of a series or something.
then like
We might need to go back.
It's like there's going to be a lead in from a title.
Okay. So I'm going to put this to you. We are now at a 6.2. We have filled in all our categories. We only have the Tingle Tilt. No, we only have the Tingle Tilt left. And put it this way, Pounded by the Pound had a 6.4 on the Tingle Tilt. And what did we give it for the Tingle Tilt? 3 or 4?
I mean, I can't remember, but
It doesn't matter.
Like,
No, it's good we don't remember.
Monday Pounds Me in the Butt is like, I honestly really enjoyed this story. I
didn't enjoy this story till the end.
even without. Oh, did you not?
No, because
I enjoyed it from the very fucking beginning.
There are a lot of similarities with Pounded by the Pound, and the fact that Tingle decided to marry it up in a giveaway.
The Tinglers are all gonna have
Yeah, I get that, but he chose to give this particular. Like, I can't imagine the book where he fucks the Titanic has exactly the same kind of structure.
I mean, my tilt for Pounded by the Pound at this point would probably
What's
be
your tilt?
3. My tilt for this is definitely a 5. I really love this one.
Mine's probably a 2.
So
No, literally. Let me put it this way.
So what is it, 3.5?
No.
As the medium.
Let me explain the Tingle Tilt to you. So any positive figure is going to add to the score. So I'm going to say a 2 because I really did love the payoff.
Yeah.
The payoff of the ending of the whole universe coalescing into one. Absolutely. I'm going to give it probably a 2. So if you're going to say a 5, what's that, 3.5?
Well, yeah.
Point.
What we got?
The Robotron has spoken. I am Tingletron 4000 book review score robot. All scores are final. The final grand Tingle score, the floor score, if you will, is a 7.6.
Oh, so it beats Pounded by the Pound?
It's below it by 0.4.
Oh, fuck this shit! Oh, God, we're almost out of time, Tom.
Are you fucking shitting me? All right, we'll do one more topic. Jesus Christ.
One more topic. Okay, guys, I promise. Like, this is going to be a process. We will nail this eventually.
Hot pot.
I will tighten things up, and Tom will tighten things up.
And if you are not liking this, please let me know. If you are really liking this, let me know, and then we won't edit it too much.
I mean, if you're not liking it,
Rickard, let me know.
I fucking love
Captain
this.
Sigbid, let
I
me
think
know.
we should do this as a separate thing if it's not generally liked. Okay, cool. So here we got CSB. All right, Tom.
Sigbid, all right, Dom.
We all know that